Welcome back, listeners, to another thrilling episode of Space City X-Files, your portal into the mysteries and wonders of the unknown. I'm your host, Rick, as you know, and today we embark on a journey that takes us to the threshold between life and that great beyond. We delve into a topic that has fascinated humanity for centuries, since the beginning of time, really. Near-death experiences. And you may also hear me refer to them in this episode as NDEs, alright? So what lies on the other side of consciousness when our lives hang in the balance? Is there a realm beyond the veil of mortality? Join us as we navigate the ethereal landscapes of NDEs, shedding light on these extraordinary encounters that have captivated the human imagination. In this thought-provoking episode, we'll explore the personal accounts of those who have ventured to the edge of existence and returned with tales of profound revelations. From the serene embrace of a radiant light to encounters with long-lost loved ones, we'll unravel the enigmatic elements that make up these extraordinary journeys. But we don't just dive into the narratives. We'll also examine the scientific, psychological, and philosophical dimensions of NDEs. We're going to be exploring the boundaries between the physical and the metaphysical. What does science have to say about these awe-inspiring moments? Are these glimpses into the afterlife, or do they purely have a physiological explanation? Get ready, fellow truth seekers, as we embark on an exploration of near-death experiences, a voyage that challenges our understanding of life, death, and the nature of consciousness. It challenges everything that we've known so far, or that we think we know, about death. Prepare to have your beliefs challenged and your curiosity ignited. This is Space City X-Files, episode 28, Near-Death Experiences. Before we continue with our exploration of near-death experiences, we'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to all our listeners. At Space City X-Files, we strive to provide the best possible experience by keeping our episodes free of commercials and ads. We rely on your support to help us grow and reach more people who share our passion for uncovering the mysteries of the unknown. If you enjoyed today's episode, we kindly request that you take a few minutes to leave us a review on the platform that you're streaming from. Your feedback is invaluable in spreading awareness about the show and attracting those new listeners. Additionally, if you would like to make a monetary contribution to support the program, you can visit our website and click on the Support Us tab. Every donation we receive goes directly towards enhancing the quality of our content. We greatly appreciate your consideration and ongoing support. Your involvement ensures that we can continue to deliver thought-provoking episodes like today's over the exploration of near-death experiences. Thank you for being a part of Space City X-Files, and we look forward to bringing you more captivating content in the near future. That will conclude today's announcements. Alright, to start our journey, let's first understand what near-death experiences are. Near-death experiences, or NDEs, refer to a set of subjective experiences that individuals report after coming close to death. Now, these encounters often involve a range of sensations, emotions, and perceptions that can be transformative and deeply meaningful. Now, although NDEs vary from person to person, there are several common elements that tend to emerge. NDEs can occur in a variety of circumstances, such as during accidents, surgeries, or life-threatening illnesses. They transcend cultural and religious boundaries, suggesting that these experiences are deeply ingrained in the human psyche. Now, it's important to note that while NDEs are often associated with physical near-death situations, they can also occur in non-life-threatening situations, such as during meditation or deep relaxation. Now, although these fall under another category called OBEs, meaning outer body experiences, one of the most frequently reported elements of near-death experiences is the sensation of leaving the physical body. Now, many individuals describe a feeling of floating or rising above their own bodies, observing the scene from an elevated perspective. This out-of-body experience often leads to a heightened sense of awareness and a detachment from all your concerns and from the physical realm. Another common aspect is the presence of a bright light or tunnel. People frequently describe encountering a radiant light that beckons them toward it, or a tunnel that seems to lead to another realm. This light is often described as warm and loving and comforting, invoking feelings of peace and transcendence. Alongside the light, many individuals report encountering deceased loved ones or spiritual beings. Now, these encounters can invoke a sense of reunion, love, and even guidance. Some people even describe engaging in conversations or receiving profound insights and messages during these encounters that in the end leave them with a greater knowledge and deeper understanding of the universe and even themselves. Lastly, other reported elements that include a sense of timelessness, a review of one's life events, like everything flashes back before your eyes and you relive it in an instant, and then also a feeling of unconditional love and acceptance, almost like you're home. Now, I think we at least have a basic understanding now of what an NDE is, and now we learned a little bit about what people have experienced so far. And so far, it's all been relatively positive and enlightening. Wouldn't you say? Based off of what we talked about. But is that everyone's experience? Is everything so light? Is everything so brilliant and beautiful? Let's take another look at the other side of the spectrum for a bit. Now, it's worth noting that negative experiences during NDEs are relatively less common than positive ones. However, their occurrence highlights the complexity and variability of near-death experiences. Now, each individual's subject experience can be influenced by their personal beliefs, either their cultural backgrounds, their psychological state, and the specific circumstances surrounding their NDE encounter. Let's take a look at a few examples here quickly. Now, some individuals have described feelings of fear, darkness, or emptiness during their NDE experience. One person explained it as being burned alive, frozen in the deepest, darkest void you can imagine, and knowing that no one can help you. They may encounter terrifying or malevolent beings, experience a sense of being trapped or isolated. Sounds terrifying, right? Others have experienced something called a life review, which is also a common thing with positive NDEs, but this one takes a turn for the worse. So it starts off as a positive review, but then it gets dark. In a negative life review, the person is surrounded by people that are angry with them or by demons, and they're reading off in their life all the things they've done wrong, right? Just beating them down. Others who have a negative experience say they felt like they were ripped away from their body, and no matter how bad they wanted to return in this type of experience, they didn't have that option. This would be the opposite of a positive NDE. Whatever the cause is of this phenomenon, negative NDEs have often left patients with severe PTSD and psychological damages that takes years, perhaps even the rest of their life, to repair. Now, this is why doctors take so much interest in these NDEs. No matter what the cause may be, it's super real to the people who experience it. And the more we understand, the more we can do to help them move forward in their life with optimism. Now, before we go any further into our study, let's hear from individuals who have experienced NDEs firsthand. Now, their stories offer glimpses into the profound and transformative nature of these occurrences. Now, these are actual experiences from real people that I'm about to read. All the links will be listed in the show notes for you to check out on your own. And just to mention, I know we didn't talk about this certain type, but one of the testimonies will be from someone who experienced a shared NDE. And it still fits the mold, only it involved 2 or more people. Okay? So, first we have the account from Anita Morjani. Now, Anita Morjani, a woman of Indian descent who was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma, shared her near-death experiences in her book, Dying to Be Me. Now, according to her account, Anita was in a coma and her organs began to shut down. As doctors informed her family that she had very little time left to live, during her NDE experience, Anita felt herself transcend her physical body and enter a realm of pure consciousness. She described feeling surrounded by unconditional love and an overwhelming sense of peace and well-being. Anita claimed to have a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all beings and the purpose of life. While in this state, Anita also encountered her deceased father and a close friend who had passed away. They communicated with her telepathically, assuring her that it was not her time and encouraging her to return to her physical body. As Anita regained consciousness, she experienced miraculous and rapid recovery from her illness. Her cancerous tumor shrank, and she eventually went into complete remission. She attributed her healing to the profound insights and transformation she gained during her near-death experience. Anita Morjani's account has gained significant attention and has been shared widely as an inspiring story of healing and spiritual awakening through a near-death experience. It offers a unique perspective on the transformative potential and positive aspects that some individuals report after experiencing an NDE. What a powerful story, right? All right, let's go to the next one. Next, we have Don Piper, okay? And Don says, verbatim, he says, I was on my way home from a convention heading to Alvin, Texas, where I served as a minister at a South Park Baptist church. I drove at a moderate 50 miles an hour because the January day was chilly and rainy, and the narrow 2-lane freeway had no shoulders. At about 11:45 a.m., an 18-wheeler coming from the other direction weaved across the center line and hit my car head-on. The truck rolled on top of my car, slamming it into the side railing. The accident report states that impact was about 110 miles per hour. The first responders on the scene examined me, found no pulse, and declared that I had been killed instantly. I have no recollection of the impact. In my next moment of awareness, I was standing in heaven. Joy pulsed through me as I looked around, and at that moment, I became aware of a large crowd of people standing in front of an ornate gate. Every person was smiling, shouting, and praising God as they surged towards me. The first person I recognized was my grandfather. He looked exactly as I remembered him, with his shock of white hair and what I called big banana nose. He stopped in front of me. "Donnie!" His eyes lit up. He held out his arms and embraced me. Once again, the robust, strong grandfather that I had known as a child. Also in the crowd was Mike Wood, a childhood friend who was killed in a wreck at the age of 19. He slipped his arm around my shoulder. I was amazed by the brightness of his smile. He seemed so alive. There were others. Barry Wilson, my classmate in high school who had drowned in the lake. 2 teachers who had nurtured me in my faith. Relatives I had last seen at family reunions. All looked exactly as I once knew them. although they were more radiant and joyful than they'd ever been on earth. Coming out from the gate, only a short distance ahead, was an even more luminous light than which surrounded us. I could hardly grasp the dazzling colors. A holy awe came over me as I stepped forward toward the gate. I had no idea what lay ahead, but I sensed that with each step, heaven would grow more wondrous. Then came the music. I can only describe it as a swoosh of wings, but I would have to magnify that thousands of times to explain the effect of the sound in heaven, or the sounds, I should say. A myriad of sounds filled my mind and heart. The most amazing one, however, was the angels' wings. I didn't see them, but they made a beautiful melody with a cadence that seemed to never stop. The swishing resounded as if it was from an unending praise. A second sound remains, even today, the single, most vivid memory I have of my entire heavenly experience. Hundreds of songs were being sung at the same time. As I approached the magnificent gate, I heard singing from every direction and realized each voice praised God. I write voice, but some seem to be instrumental. Praise was everywhere, and all of it was musical, yet comprised of melodies and tones I've never experienced before. Every sound blended, and each enhanced all the others. I did not see God, although I knew God was there. I saw only a shining iridescence as I peered through the gates. The only way I made sense out of that part of the experience is to think that if I had seen God, I would never have wanted to return. My feeling is that once we're in God's presence, we will never return to earth again, because it would be empty and meaningless by comparison. For me, just to reach the gates was amazing, a foretaste of joy divine. Then, just as suddenly as I had arrived at the gates of heaven, I left. A fellow pastor, Dick Oranecker, and his wife, Anita, were traveling home from the same conference when they came upon my crash scene. Dick got out of his car and walked toward a police officer. "I'm a minister," he said. "Is there anybody I can help or pray for?" The police officer shook his head. "The people in the truck are shaken up, but they're fine. The man in the car is deceased," the cop said. Dick tells it this way: "God spoke to me and said, 'You need to pray for that man in the car.' Dick and I had never met, but over the protestations of the EMTs, he walked to my car and crawled into the truck, the only way he could reach me. He strained to reach over the back seat and put his hand on my shoulder and prayed for me. Then he sang, 'What a friend we have in Jesus,' and I began to sing with him. Dick scrambled out of the trunk of my smashed car and raced over to the nearest EMT, shouting, 'He's come back to life.' In that first moment of consciousness, I was aware of two things. First, I heard my own voice, and then I became aware of someone else singing. The second thing I was aware of was someone clutched my right hand. It was strong, a powerful touch, and the first physical sensation I experienced with the return to earthly life. A little more than a year after the accident, I was privileged to share my story in Dick's church. His wife Anita was there, and so was my own family. Because I still wore leg braces, 2 people had to help me walk up to the platform. Afterwards, Anita wanted to correct me on one small detail. She said, "You said Dick held your right hand, but that was physically impossible." "I remember it so clearly, though," I said. "You were slumped over in the front seat toward the passenger side, and your right hand was on the floorboard of the car. From where Dick was, he could barely reach your shoulder. There was no way he could have reached your right hand. Someone was holding your right hand, but it wasn't Dick," she said. Immediately, I thought of the verse in Hebrews about entertaining angels unaware. As I pondered for a moment, I also remembered other incidents. Many times during my months in the hospital in the middle of the night, when I was at my worst, I felt a presence, something, someone, sustaining and encouraging me. Since that conversation with Anita, the facts confirmed by Dick, I've been more convinced that the angel gripping my hand was God's way of sustaining me and letting me know that he would not let go of me, no matter how hard things became. I may not feel that hand each day, but I know that it's there. That's the end of his story. So, and I tried to read that without choking up, but that was a tough one. And we see here, this is someone who was obviously of a religious disposition before there was an accident. And in their experience, they felt like they saw heaven, and they felt God's protection and reassurance. Though I'm sure he was in a world of pain, obviously, it was a beautiful retelling of what he saw. All right. Up next, we have Ibn Alexander. All right, so here is a summary of Ibn's NDE, as described in his book, Proof of Heaven, a neurosurgeon's journey into the afterlife. Now, Ibn Alexander, a neurosurgeon, fell into a coma as a result of a severe case of bacterial meningitis. Now, during this coma, he claimed to have embarked on an extraordinary journey beyond the physical world. In his NDE, he encountered vivid landscapes, ethereal beings, and a heavenly realm. Now, according to Alexander, his consciousness entered a realm of existence that surpassed anything he had previously known or imagined. He described the experience as a profound and transformative encounter with the divine and loving presence. Now, the realm he visited was filled with immense beauty, indescribable colors, and a sense of peace and harmony. Now, one significant aspect of Alexander's account is his claim that his neocortex, the region of his brain responsible for conscious experience, was inactive during his coma. All right? This challenged his previous beliefs as a neurosurgeon, as he had assumed that NDEs were merely products of brain activity. Alexander's experience led him to question the nature of consciousness and the relationship between the mind and the brain. Throughout his journey, Alexander interacted with spiritual beings who provided guidance and knowledge. He also reunited with deceased loved ones, although he did not recognize them initially. In this realm, communication occurred telepathically, and emotions were heightened, transcending the limitations of earthly existence. After his recovery, Alexander reflected on his experience and its implications. He became an advocate for the idea that consciousness exists beyond the physical body, and that there is more to life than what can be explained by conventional science. And his story has resonated with many individuals seeking answers about the nature of consciousness and the possibility of an afterlife. Now, it's important to remember that Ibn Alexander's account is a subjective recollection of his own NDE. While it has inspired and intrigued many, it has also faced criticism and skepticism from skeptics and the scientific community. Nonetheless, his story has contributed to the ongoing exploration of NDEs and their potential significance in understanding the mysteries of human consciousness. Another interesting story of a heavenly realm we see. All right, so one more story. Now that we have shared a couple of NDE experiences, let's take a look at this one here. Now, in this account, we have a shared near-death experience, and it involves two individuals Kevin and Patricia. Now, as described by Kevin in his book, The Forever Angels, Near-Death Experiences in Childhood and Their Lifelong Impact, Kevin and Patricia were childhood friends who had a remarkable experience when they both encountered life-threatening situations at the same exact time. Now, Kevin was involved in a car accident while Patricia had a near-drowning incident. Now, during their respective ordeals, they both claimed to have entered a shared realm beyond the physical world. Now, according to Kevin's account, he lost consciousness after the car accident. He found himself in a beautiful and luminous realm. He felt a sense of overwhelming peace and love. Soon after, he noticed Patricia's presence beside him. They communicated telepathically, just like in Alexander's story, and the one before that, and their experiences were synchronized. In this realm, Kevin and Patricia encountered spiritual beings who guided and comforted them. Okay, so here's the ethereal beings again, basically comforting you, telling you what needs to happen and what you need to do. And they described a heightened state of awareness where they could perceive colors, sounds, and emotions with greater intensity than ever before. Okay? They also felt a deep connection to each other and a profound sense of unity with the universe. Now, during their NDE, Kevin and Patricia experienced a life review where they relived significant events of their lives. They felt a deep sense of compassion and understanding towards themselves and others and for each other. They also gained insights into the interconnectedness of all beings and the importance of love and kindness in their lives. Now, after their near-death experiences, Kevin and Patricia continued their friendship, sharing their extraordinary journey and supporting each other and integrating their NDEs into their daily lives. Their shared NDE strengthened their bond and inspired them to live with a deeper appreciation for life and a greater sense of purpose. So we see here in the account of Kevin and Patricia's shared NDE, this really offers a unique perspective. Now, while most NDEs are described as individual experiences, their story suggests that it's possible for two individuals to have synchronized and interconnected journeys in the afterlife realm. Now, why is this so? Well, they had mentioned something about the interconnectedness of all beings. So there's a theory that we're all connected. Everybody is one. And one of the reasons behind that is because we all come from the same source. Now, this could vary depending on what belief you have, but if you believe that there is a grand creator and this grand creator created all things, then we're all connected because the power that he used or the energy that he used to bring everything to life is all in each one of us, okay? And so this is the reason why it's possible for these type of things to happen. This is the reason why you could be thinking about somebody or wishing they would call you, and the next thing you know, your phone rings. This could be the reason why people that know each other have similar dreams and they're in each other's dreams. And they meet the next day or something and they said, man, I had a dream that you were in my dream and we were doing this, and the other person says the exact same thing. That's because not our conscious mind, but our subconscious mind, which is attached to the energy realm, is all connected throughout all life forms, throughout the universe, throughout the Creator himself. Very, very interesting concept. I'd like to do an episode over that one day soon, hopefully. All right, so continuing on. The impact of near-death experiences extend beyond the encounter itself, as we've seen so far. Now, many individuals report significant transformations in their lives following their NDE. They often have a renewed appreciation for life, a deeper sense of purpose, and a decreased fear of death. They no longer fear it. So what's there to fear after you know that something so beautiful is waiting for you. Now, before we go on, I have a theory that I want to make about that. So, if what these people are saying is true, what they experienced is true, I have no reason to doubt what they felt or what they've seen. If that's true, that this is what's waiting for us, this transfer of consciousness into something that's so beautiful, to where you return to oneness with creation itself, with these beautiful beings, why would people have a need to fear death after that? And I think that in this world, certain things, certain ideologies have increased the fear around death. And because of that, it's done people a great disservice. So much fear and anguish around death. And when some people lose loved ones, they can never recover. It's like a piece of them died too. And the fear of death causes people to seek out expensive treatment or expensive or really, in a way, it keeps like big pharmacy running. Because if something's going on with you, you're feeling you got a headache every day, or something's ailing you, okay, I got a pill for that. Come take this pill. You don't want to die, do you? So come and buy this from us. And then also, I don't mean to offend anybody here, but also in religion, I mean, the thought of hell, the thought of being judged, the thought of being left behind, I mean, it all stems from death or the loss of yourself in some way. And that scares people into coming and filling the pews each day and putting the money in the basket and all that good stuff. And I just feel like it's like a big trap. And it's really confused people. And it's scared them so much, they're so afraid of death, that it's caused them to not want to live. And that's the reason why we have so much anxiety in this world. People are so afraid of death, and so afraid of the violence, and so afraid of the things going on in this world that some people are afraid to even leave their house. Some people won't go to the brick and mortar stores anymore because of all the things that are going on, or they never take a chance in life. They never pursue their goals because they're afraid. But if these ideologies or these fear-mongering tactics were never implemented and people weren't afraid of death, think of how different the world would be. Think of how you would feel if you lost a loved one, but you knew they returned back to the universe. They're in a place of a total peace and happiness. Would you feel sad for them? No, because you would know at some point that they're safe. You would know that soon you can join them too, and you're safe. I don't know. I just wanted to say that before we continue on. All right, so picking back up, it says some people even undergo profound changes in their beliefs, values, and priorities, leading to a more spiritual or interconnected outlook. And this is like what we've seen in Eben's account, the neurosurgeon. That's kind of what I was talking about too. It's worth noting that shared NDEs are relatively rare compared to individual NDEs, and their occurrence and nature are still subjects of ongoing research and exploration. Nevertheless, accounts like Kevin and Patricia's contribute to our understanding of the profound and transformative nature of NDEs and their potential implications for our understanding of consciousness and what happens in the afterlife. So now we got to hear what some people have experienced firsthand. It's important to hear what the scientific community has to say about this phenomenon also. Now, the scientific study of near-death experiences is a fascinating field that aims to unravel the mysteries behind these profound encounters. Our researchers have proposed various theories to explain the underlying mechanisms of NDEs. Some suggest that they are the result of neurochemical and physiological processes in the brain, while others propose that they have a transcendental or spiritual origin. One intriguing theory suggests that near-death experiences may arise from the release of endogenous psychedelics in the brain during times of extreme stress or trauma. Now, these are natural occurring substances such as DMT, and they have been associated with altered states of consciousness and profound mystical experiences. So our body basically naturally produces this DMT, and it would do more during these near-death experiences, allegedly. Further, research is needed to explore this hypothesis and shed light on the biological basis of NDEs. Another area of scientific interest is the exploration of relationship between near-death experiences and consciousness. Now, some scientists argue that NDEs provide evidence for the survival of consciousness beyond physical death, suggesting that existence of an afterlife or non-physical realm exists. However, the study of consciousness and its mysteries is still in its infancy, and for the meantime, we have no substantial evidence that can lead us to the conclusion otherwise. As of now, it's considered pseudoscience to bring it up, but who knows what the future will bring. And that doesn't change what you decide to believe personally, right? As we conclude our exploration of near-death experiences, we hope this episode has shed light on the profound and complex nature of these encounters. Near-death experiences offer a glimpse into a realm beyond our ordinary perception, challenging us to contemplate the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of our physical existence. And remember, the exploration of near-death experiences is an ongoing journey. Researchers continue to investigate the scientific, psychological, and spiritual aspects of these encounters, and personal narratives continue to enrich our understanding. If you're interested in learning more about this topic, we encourage you to explore further and engage with the vast resources available. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this one. Just to offer my own perspective on this before we wrap it up. So, in this case, without a doubt, I 100% believe that when our physical bodies die, that's not the end of us. All right? I don't think that all we are just what our brain has learned or has created as far as our identity from the time we spent on this earth. I don't think that that's what made us us, because there's some babies that are born that have just so much character and so much charisma, and they're so funny, and this is at infancy. At a young age, you can just see that they're full of life. And how could that be whenever they're so young? I just can't believe that that's all from the brain. No, me personally, I believe that there is a creator of the universe, the creator of everything. And I believe that we are that power source. We are from that power source. It's inside of us. It's what makes us who we really are. And I believe that source helps us. It guides us. It gives us our deep down personality of who we are. It gives us the ability to be empathetic to people, to show compassion, to show love. I believe that that's where all that stems from. It helps us to understand right and wrong. It gives us a conscience. And when physical bodies pass on, I believe that survives. And where it goes, I believe that that's a long journey. I believe it's a long, beautiful journey. I believe that you have a choice when you get to that point. That either you can stay reunited with the powers, with the source that created all things. Some would say God, or label it God. Or you have an opportunity to go back and enjoy life again. And I say that because life is beautiful. Even if you go through hard times, there can still be beautiful moments. Some people would say, why would, if somebody was done with this life and moved on and they were back with the creator of the universe, why would they choose life again? Well, because there's beautiful moments. There's beautiful moments like falling in love or getting married, or spending time with your family, watching your children be born and watching them grow up, watching them create their own family, having your grandkids come over and spend time with you, or family vacations. And there's hard times and there's good times, but it's an experience, and it's to me the beauty outweighs the negative, and not to mention that it's just that the world is naturally so beautiful. There's places in this earth that are just so mind-blowing visually, the mountains, the snow-covered mountains, the beaches, beautiful beaches, man, just the woods. If you're a type of person that likes nature, that's me. I love all those things, and to experience it again, I can kind of see why people would, or why an energy source would make that choice again. And when you understand those things, I feel like it takes away the fear of death. I feel like it enables you to actually live without fear, to live without worry, and to enjoy your life to its fullest. But that's my opinion. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you took something from it and can pass it on and share it with somebody else. Anyways, that's going to wrap up today's show of the Space City X-Files. And again, I hope you enjoyed our take on near-death experiences. If you had a good time, do me a favor, take a few minutes after the conclusion to leave us a short review. It helps us out so much. Also, if somehow, or if you have at some point had an experience of your own, of an NDE that you would like to share, please reach out to me on social media or by email. I would love to hear your story. I'd love to talk with you personally, and if you want to share it, we can share it also. And that'd be great. So, and also, if you would like to share your opinion of what you think, what happens to us after our physical bodies pass on, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that also. So feel free to hit me up on social media or by email. You can send those emails to info@spacecityxfiles.com. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Join us next time as we dive into another fascinating topic that pushes the boundaries of human understanding. Thanks a lot for being here. All right, friends, this is Rick on behalf of the Space City X-Files. Until we meet again, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop seeking the truth.
Thank you for listening to Space City X-Files.